How ZEN helped Vitality become the #1 team in the world. Ever since he joined, they cannot stop winning. They are a total 15-1 in all of their series played. In this day and age, that seems impossible. With the skill ceiling so close now, it seems like ZEN joining Vitality just widened it even more. Today, we break down what he does and how he does it to help them be so good. Be sure to subscribe if you guys are new. We are on the road to 100K subs. Like and comment for the algorithm. It really does help. And you guys got to see how good this guy really is. All right, so let's jump right into game 4 without further ado, and we're gonna watch ZEN's POV. This is in the grand final of the series they just won to actually three-peat, which is crazy to think about. Wait, dude, holy crap, right off the rip, a kickoff strat. So what I want to see is I want to watch how Vitality pretty much is just dominating, and obviously it's a lot of it is because of the skill, but also at the same time nowadays it's not just based off skill. You got to have really good teamwork. And right off the rip, they do a fake kickoff. I don't know really what the idea was here, but it looks like they're trying new things that other teams aren't, to try to get advantages. So I think what happened was ZEN was trying to just to dunk. I think Radosin was going back for the boost, right? Yeah, ZEN, I believe, was just going for a dunk, and he was going to try to hit it into that top left corner where he was at in the direction. That way his team would get instant pressure. So they must have had a strategy that's been working. But yeah, overall with this team, I don't think you guys realize how hard it actually is to three-peat in Rocket League, let alone win one regional. As you guys know, it's so hard. You got to be the best team, and Vitality was dominating for what's their name? Carmine Corp was dominating for the longest time. So when you really think about it, you really do get impressed, because I mean, guys, 2 years ago, I could understand teams winning a back-to-back, or like NRG days when NRG was dominating, right? It was more expected because the skill gap was still a big chunk. Nowadays, Rocket League has kind of come to this, but Vitality somehow keeps doing this, you know? So it's crazy to think about. Obviously, ZEN's a big reason. That's why we're watching his POV. But that could have easily been a goal. Alpha54 did not expect that. But the thing I notice about ZEN compared to like other superstar players is it seems like he plays like for the team more. I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but from my understanding and from what other people seem to say, he's so good, but he also plays for the team instead of just himself. You know, a lot of other star players, it seems like they play for themselves and what they can do to make themselves look best. But right here, as you can see, it's just, you know, it feels like he plays passive, and then a time comes and he scores. Alpha54 makes a great pinch. ZEN realizes it, and then, dude, see, this is so tough to do. I know it's such a basic thing. You're like, dude, what are you talking about? To open shot to the right side. The difference is my shots aren't snapping top right. My shots are snapping at car level where Rise is at, you know, in the middle between the two of these guys. And he hits one top right. He's just so consistent, you know. Okay, but let's get right into this. Keep going. I wonder if they do another kickoff strat, because I don't really, as an NA person, I don't really follow EU as close as I probably should, and it honestly is like, it is probably the most competitive region, like without a doubt right now, because NA's been very up and down, right? I think we can all agree to that. But it's crazy to me because nowadays, I really didn't feel like they get a goal out of this too. I never felt like psychos were this important in the game. And then within the last year, the skill ceiling has just jumped so much, and now everyone has to be able to do these. And everyone is starting to go for them, but they're just not doing it at the consistency level that, you know, ZEN does. But man, it's honestly crazy, because when he came around at first, I didn't really know what to expect. I was like, oh, it's another Daniel, it's another this, another that, you know, beast mode. He's going to be at that level, right? There's only so much level you can get above the rest of the game. But the fact that he takes a team that was struggling to make majors, or even, you know, make main events sometimes, they end up ending strong, making a major. They still decide to say, you know what, he's easily coming in. We don't care what anybody says. And they come in, win their first regional, second, then the third. It's just crazy to think about. But I do want to start watching more of ZEN's gameplay and less talking about what they're doing, you know, to like their accomplishments. But as you can see, it's just, he plays very smart. So example right here. He sees Alpha's beat, and he sees he's a beat again. He recognizes the demo coming early. He should have got demoed there, let's be honest. But he still would have had the save, you know. He just has one of those plays where he's, you know, back in the day, I mean, First Killer still is like this, but There's certain players in the game that think a step and not just a step ahead. Then there's the pros that think a step or two ahead. ZEN, it feels like he thinks 3 steps ahead. It's like he knows where to be at the right time, and he just always is in the right place. You know, and I will say you would think most rookies would be making a lot of mistakes. Sorry, but man, like, even watch this, guys. Like, in the heat of the moment, most people would realize that, like, this ball pops and they would jump for it, right? He just looks with his camera, calm, cool, collected. It's almost like it's a ranked game, and then he just pre-jumps it, blocks it with low boost. Now has possession out, gets a 50. He's probably going to go again. He looks again to see where he's at. He got called off. Oh, that easily could have been a goal. That was great comms, though. I bet Vitality have really good communication, because I feel like no team nowadays can win. Back in the day, teams used to just win just off being good, like better than other people. You know, nowadays it seems like teamwork is such a big factor, and you have to have good vibes, good communication, and all that. And I will say, a big thing I like about EU compared to NA, I don't know if y'all agree with this, but NA doesn't boot camp these regionals like for example, EU, the 2 teams in the grand final right now are boot camping. They're all right next to each other every time they score, fist bumps, good vibes. ZEN's literally won 3 regionals straight being at a boot camp facility. And not only does it help them play better because the vibes are stronger. I mean, think about it, guys. If you're not boot camping, you know, when you give up goals, sometimes you're like, ugh, right? But when you're next to your teammates, you're not really going to be like, oh, dude, you know, you're going to be like, all right, we're good, we're good. So it's a really big vibe factor when it comes to it. And I think ZEN is going to perform. I mean, guys, I think it's pretty obvious they're the favorite to win the major. 3-peating, dude, imagine they win 3 regionals in a row, then a major. And the crazy thing is they really look like they are by far the best team right now, even compared to like NA. But yeah, we're going to watch this game, and then we're going to jump into the game where they close out the series, because I want to watch more gameplay. I know this game I'm kind of talking a lot about just what makes them good, in my opinion, but I will say a BDS really surprised me when it came to it, because I didn't know Rise had that much of an impact on the game, you know, because going from Oxygen, it was kind of like, right, that was supposed to be a really good team, but apparently Oxygen's not the best, you know, it seems like right now. So he joins this team, they instantly become like a top 2 team in EU. It's crazy, top 3 team. Maybe I wouldn't put them past, you know, Carmine Corp, but number 1 is clearly these guys right here that we're watching. But yeah, like I said, next game I do want to watch just straight up more gameplay and like look what ZEN does, because right now, as you can tell, the guy doesn't look like he boosts unless he has to. You know, it's little things like that. And the one thing I do like about ZEN the most is he constantly plays around his team. He's not the one always full sending. It's more so alpha like right there, and then he kind of rolls in. He likes to play like super mechanical but off smart challenges, and that's so rare to get nowadays. You just don't. Usually players are either full mechs or full, you know, well, it used to be full mechs or full brains, and they just make it look easy. All right, let's jump into the next game and watch more gameplay and try to break down what he does that's so good. So let's break down the gameplay of this game. So I'm kind of curious to see what ZEN does rather than just playing around his teammates. So like the type of touches he gets, the time he takes in certain positions, the way he challenges. Because from what I understand, it's almost like he looks around. If he doesn't have a clear beat, he'll like stop, look around, and you know what I mean? Okay, that is genius. Look at this. Most people are, let's be honest, most people are banging this off the backboard, right? Or going for a shot. Like probably me, I'm going for a shot on the right side because I think my teammate's bumping Rise. What does ZEN do? ZEN catches it, knows he's going to dive. He backflips it so he gets a soft touch. And this is his last man, by the way. Both his teammates are in front of him. Rise goes flying by expecting the shot like any of us would do. ZEN takes his time. Radosin goes for a demo. He plays the 50 and gets a goal out of it. It is so freaking good. It's textbook. It's incredible. It's things like that that just make him so much, that make him better than almost every single player on the field every game he's in. And by a long shot. Again, takes his time. He calls Monkey Moon's bluff on the chow. He knows he's not going to full send that, and Monkey Moon kind of just half jumped. So he sat there and waited. See, again, look, other players just boom the ball to you in the heat of the moment in RLCS. Now, maybe Rise, well, that wasn't his intentions, but you see what I'm saying. It's little things like that. You know, the top pros really don't give the ball away unless it's a position where they're literally forced to. And it seems like, dude, look at the patience on this challenge. Even though he doesn't get contact, the good thing he's doing right here is, watch this. Besides full sending this challenge like most people will do, as you see your first man's out of the play, Radosin full sent a challenge. ZEN takes his time, waits. Now Radosin is back behind the play, because if ZEN would have full sent this earlier, it would have been bad because 2 players would have been out of the play instead of 1. Instead, he takes his time. Now Alpha gets a good challenge because Rise is in a weird spot. So yeah, in my opinion, it's things like that that are a game changer when it comes to Rocket League. And nowadays, at high level Rocket League, it seems like any team can win on the day, just depending on who's like feeling it more individually and their decision making smart. That wasn't the best challenge out of there in the corner, but I'm trying to think what he tried to do. So he tried to go for a demo. Oh, so there the whole time, he wasn't even playing the ball. He was just trying to get the demo to get the danger away. That's a good demo. I will say, call me crazy, but from watching this past NA regional, I think Retals had like 100 demos or something, 103 demos in one regional. I don't really notice too many EU people demoing. Now let me know in the comments if EU just demos less, or if NA is just kind of wild and stupid and we just go for demos, right? I'm kind of curious to hear your guys' opinions on that. But again, ZEN keeping his space. It looks like, you know what's kind of crazy? Before ZEN joined this team, I didn't really know what type of player Radosin was. Dude, he is so consistent with these touches. It's actually incredible. But it seems like Radosin and Alpha kind of like fly at the ball and play more of like an aggressive role and try to create random things. And ZEN plays around them, trying to get good challenges and making good plays. Wow, that was incredible. He gets the nice pre-flip soft touch, pre-flips again, and then uses his dodge late to try to scoop it over because he realizes he was getting bumped. The fact that he almost, wow, that was really confusing rotations. That was not the best rotations from Radosin or ZEN. Alpha had to like stop his car to not get hit. Look at this. This is crazy. But somehow they still had possession out of it, and it works out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That was a weird spot to be in. But from watching these replays, it really doesn't seem like ZEN is a main factor that, you know, they're actually, before I say that, their defense looks incredible. It seems like they make the game look so easy, don't they? See, like right here, I feel like for you, it's crazy because I feel like this would be a drop down pass. Look, 3 guys are on the back wall, but they don't find the pass. But I guess that kind of just goes to show how good, you know, like in the moment when you saw that ZEN backflip catch, how icy that is, because most players are just making the basic play. Because as a former pro, and I wasn't the most high level person, right? I mean, I played and competed, and I think my last season I finished like 11th or 10th or something like that. But in the moment, the game looks so much faster than what these guys make it look when you're actually competing and playing on the field. But these guys just make it look so flawless on defense. Dude, he is always just taking his time with challenges. Another example, watch this. For me, honestly, I probably see that ball down and I try to rush it because I know Monkey Moon's kind of driving down still. ZEN takes his time because his teammate's there, and then he gets the good challenge here. Radosin doesn't get the best chow though, and this might be a goal for, nope, they don't. Wow. These guys just have, these guys must have really good comms. I would be curious to hear their comms and to know what they're saying, because they got to be calling the best teams. I remember when SSG was winning everything. I don't know if you guys remember that in RLCSX, and their comm videos would get released, and they were comming so much more when it was Retals, Arsenal, and Typical. They would comm 4 things. Look at this soft touch. Takes his time, gets it over. But back to what I'm saying, they would comm like everything. So I remember there was one point Arsenal would be like, Retals would be dribbling, and he'd be like, sips to your left, or you can dribble right, or you can, you know what I mean, or you can shoot. Like they would comm for each other. I'm curious. I bet these guys definitely have really good comms. You know, it only makes sense with how clean they play. That's a good passing play. See, that's like kind of what you expect. But it just shows again in the moment how tough it is to really perform when pressure's on. You know, this is a grand final. See, that was a good play. A good demo comes out of the other team, and they finally got something open. So that's kind of like the only thing I'm kind of curious to see how these teams do against NA, because NA, in my opinion, I feel like demos a lot. Which maybe that's why we're so inconsistent, because we go for demos and it puts us in bad spots and stuff. That's another goal, isn't it? Bar down. What happened here? Seiko goes up the wall, gets a weird touch. Uh-oh, Monkey Moon went for a boost, and Rise got caught up. And that led to a goal. But, yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how NA does against, like, a team like Vitality or BDS, or... Because it's kind of weird. I just noticed watching this recent regional, it seems like... Oh, I'm sorry. It seems like a demo... NA seems like a demo fiesta. When EU really, from watching these games and the other games I watch, there's never a guy going around getting like 8 demos in a game. And that's definitely probably hurts NA, let's be honest. And a big reason why we're inconsistent. Because if those demos aren't working out, it's just like you're giving up possession because you're not in the play and you have a guy chasing a demo. But wow. It's crazy because I get more impressed every time I watch this guy. And I know the ZEN has been talked about so much, but I really feel like we got to keep doing replays on him and watching the major highlights, because I want to watch replays of how he does at the major, because that'll be even more crazy, because nerves will be even higher and pressure's on even more. Hey guys, I appreciate you for watching this video on how ZEN helped Vitality become the #1 team in the world, and I think we see his impact just alone these 2 games in this grand final that they won. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh! God dang, bro!